Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving headfirst into the rapidly escalating crisis between the United States and Iran. It's a situation that, honestly, has the entire world holding its breath.
So let's just get right to the most urgent question on everyone's mind. Has the immediate threat of a U.S. attack on Iran actually been averted? As we're about to see, the answer to that, well, it is not simple at all.
And that brings us to our first section. Right now, what we're looking at is an incredibly tense standoff. Seriously, the world is watching as these very mixed signals are coming out of both Washington and Tehran. One minute it feels like we're pulling back, and the next, it feels like we're right back on the edge.
I mean, you have President Trump himself on the record saying he doesn't want an attack. The official line from the White House is basically, wait and see. They're insisting military action isn't the goal, but they're also making it crystal clear that they are watching every single thing Iran does.
But on the other hand, you see actions that really do suggest a step back from the brink. Take this, for example. Iran has reopened its airspace. Now that is a real, tangible move away from a war footing. But with so many conflicting signals flying around, the big question is it enough?
Because, while some of the actions suggest things are calming down, the public statements, they tell a completely different story. This has turned into a full-blown battle of narratives, which is our second key area here. And it's being fought out in press conferences and all over social media.
Now, check this out, because this is where it gets really interesting. What you see here is a direct and total contradiction. On one side, the U.S. president is claiming credit for stopping mass executions, probably to show his domestic audience that his pressure is working. At the exact same time, the Iranian foreign minister is denying any such plans ever even existed, telling his own people, hey, we're in control, we're not bowing to anyone. It's two completely different stories for two very different audiences.
And Iran, for its part, is projecting this image of absolute strength and defiance. I mean, a statement like this is a crystal clear message to the United States and its allies. They're basically saying that no amount of pressure, whether it's sanctions or military threats, is going to force them to change their position. So, here's the crucial point. Behind this whole war of words, there are very real things happening on two parallel tracks. At the exact same moment that warships are on the move, diplomatic channels are just buzzing with activity.
Okay, on the military track, the Pentagon is not being subtle at all. As you can see, a full naval fleet is headed to the Middle East. And we're not talking about just one ship. This is a concentration of serious firepower. Warships, cruise missiles, fighter jets, all expected to be in position within a week.
And this doesn't seem to be just a defensive move. Media sources are reporting that the White House is actually considering a short and decisive attack. The potential targets being mentioned aren't just military sites, but core parts of Iran's own internal security, like the elite Revolutionary Guard and the Baji volunteer force.
But at the same time, there is this flurry of international diplomacy. You have key regional players like Turkey and several Arab nations publicly and privately pushing for restraint. Pakistan is even offering to mediate talks, and the whole situation has sparked an emergency meeting at the UN Security Council. And this might be the most fascinating piece of the whole puzzle. Even historic enemies, Israel and Iran, are reportedly using secret backchannels to make sure things don't accidentally spiral out of control. This really suggests that everyone in the region, no matter what they're saying in public, knows just how dangerous this moment truly is.
So beyond all the high-level maneuvering of warships and diplomats, these tensions are having a direct, widespread impact on ordinary people, both inside Iran and for anyone connected to the region.
Look at this. Countries are now taking real steps based on what their intelligence is telling them. Britain has closed its embassy. Several other nations are telling their citizens to get out of the country. Now, this isn't just being cautious. It's a clear signal that these governments believe the danger is very real and could be imminent.
But the pressure isn't just military. The U.S. is also using some powerful administrative tools to squeeze Iran. And that brings us to this number you see on the screen, 75.
So what's 75? That's the number of countries, including Iran and its neighbors, that have been hit with a new, sweeping, and indefinite suspension of U.S. immigrant visa processing. Now, it doesn't affect tourist visas, but it effectively slams the doors shut for countless families and individuals, adding this whole other layer of pressure on top of everything else.
So, where does all this leave us? I mean, we've got public statements saying let's de-escalate being contradicted by anonymous reports of attack plans. We have a massive military buildup happening at the exact same time as a global diplomatic effort to find a peaceful way out.
Ultimately, the situation is just incredibly fragile. Those warships are still sailing, and their arrival in about a week could be a major trigger point. It really leaves us with this one critical question.
Is this a real step towards peace, or is this whole thing just the quiet before a much bigger storm?